You want to know what I love about real estate is that everybody needs a place to sleep and everybody needs a place to work. Naturally, there's going to be a lot of real estate questions, and real estate is endlessly complicated. I mean, I'm a real estate professional. I own a real estate company. I've been a real estate agent for a while now, and I still discover new things. So today, we're going to talk about the 15 most commonly asked real estate questions and hopefully clear the air a little bit for you. Make me a deal. If you get any value or information out of today's video, hit that like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. My name is Greyson Roberts, realtor and owner of Boss Properties. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest real estate in the great United States of America, baby, contact me or my company, whatever. Call, text, email 24/7. I don't sleep. I'm a daggum robot. And I would love to connect you with one of my top 5-star rated agents anywhere in the country. That's right, absolutely free to you. Let me be the middleman and find you the top dog in wherever you live. And if you're interested in some free stocks, brand new channel sponsor, Moo. That's right, Moo, my new favorite online stock brokerage. You can click the link in the description. It's absolutely free. Just deposit $1 or more and get all your free stocks. Anyway, let's start with selling your home. Some questions for sellers. Number one is, how should I prepare my house before selling it? This is a great question and one that often goes overlooked. When it comes to selling your home, first impressions are so important. To attract potential buyers and maximize your chances of a successful sale, it's essential to prepare your home. Start by ensuring that the HVAC, plumbing, and electrical systems are in good working order. Clean and declutter each room and address any visible damage. Consider repainting the walls in neutral colors to appeal to a wider range of buyers. Depersonalize the space by removing family photos and personal items. By taking these steps, you'll create a welcoming environment that will make a positive impact on potential buyers. Now, I might sell homes, but my wife is a home stager, so go check out her channel, Greyson Roberts, and check out all of her home staging tips. But essentially, when you walk in and someone opens the front door and the door handle's a little bit loose, they walk in, they take one step, the floorboard creaks a little bit. The wall color was trendy 15 years ago. Maybe there's a ton of family photos and it makes it very obvious to these prospects that, hey, I'm not in my future house. I am a guest in someone else's house they're trying to sell me. So depersonalization and making sure, leaky faucets, squeaky floorboards, door hinges that need to be WD-40'd, right? Just simple stuff. They all add up to paint a picture of a well-maintained, neutral house that'll appeal to as many people as possible, so hopefully you can start a bidding more. All right, number two, how long will it take to sell my home? This is kind of complicated because it greatly depends on the market, but in general, you can, come to me for a listing appointment and we'll talk about everything that needs to happen, and there might be a 1-week process of staging, cleaning, getting a storage unit or storage pods to, move out and declutter some of your personal things. You're going to want to take professional photos for the MLS, and if you have a good agent, videography. All of these things happen relatively quick, but on average, it'll probably take a week or two to prepare your property for the MLS, depending on the condition and the schedules of the other professionals involved. Other than that, you can list it on the MLS and 60 seconds later, someone placed an offer. Now, it's kind of hard to explain. Like right now, it's a weird market. It's a really weird market, but it can take anywhere from the second you upload it all the way until your entire listing expires or you delete it. It can take as long or as little time as you want. It depends on the market, it depends on the agent's marketing of your property, and it just depends on your property. But a general rule of thumb is it's 1 to 2 weeks to prepare, and then you're actually listing it, which could be another 1 to 2 weeks. We'll just use that on average. And then the standard residential sales contract in most places, depending on the deal, is gonna be a 30-day period where you're actually under contract. You set a closing date for 30, 45, maybe even 60 days. Maybe the buyer is working with cash and they don't have to wait on a lender to do their due diligence and mortgage underwriting, and you can close in 10 days. I've seen that happen. But generally, when you get an offer made on your house, it's going to take about 30 days to close. A lot happens in there. I've got full videos on it, but you're looking at a month or two from how long it'll really take to sell your home. From deciding you want to sell it to having it sold could take 1 to 2 to 3 months or more. Okay, number 3, what is the selling price of my home? Now, this is really, really, really tricky, and I have had clients in the past who tell me the value of their property. So what we do as real estate professionals is a tool on the MLS that only agents have access to. So really only we can do this super accurately, or at least as accurate as we can, right? Is the comparable market analysis, competitive market analysis, CMA, BPO, broker price analysis, whatever you want to call it. It's an analysis that an agent runs on your property to see what comparable, we call them comps, other properties are selling for in the same conditions, same year, same square footage, and a bunch of little things you take into consideration. Now, this is basically just a glorified, educated guess for real estate professionals, as your property will get appraised for the bank, but it really comes down to what does the CMA and your real estate agent say. You can make your best guess, but a lot of the guesses that my clients have made about their homes were way off. A lot of agents will simply run a CMA for you for free because they're super easy. All right, number 4, are real estate prices negotiable? Now, if you're working with an agent or you're talking with someone and looking at houses and looking at listings, you'll notice this little word called asking price. I mean, this just doesn't go with real estate. I am of the belief that everything is negotiable. Everything. I've talked my way into free burritos at McDonald's, right? Everything is negotiable. That's not a really good example, but yes, absolutely. You don't get to determine what your house is worth. The market determines what your house is worth. If the CMA comes out to $400,000, but you say your house is worth $500,000, not how that works unless it's extremely unique and one specific buyer really likes your unique and niche property. Yeah, long story short, yeah, absolutely, it's negotiable. Okay, home buyer commonly asked questions, and stick around because we're gonna have some uncategorized, some general questions. Okay, what is the first step in buying a home? The first step in buying a home is getting pre-approved for a mortgage. You can go to a real estate agent or you can go to me first, but they're just gonna tell you to get pre-approved. No one will take your offer seriously if you don't have a pre-approval letter saying, hey, I can actually pay for this daggone house. This involves working with a lender who will assess your financial situation and determine how much you can borrow. Getting pre-approved gives you a clear understanding of your budget and allows you to focus your search on homes within your actual price range. It also demonstrates to the seller that you are a serious buyer, which can help give you a competitive edge in a competitive market. But the truth is, most people will already be pre-approved. Number 6, how long does it take to buy a home? So we already talked about how long it's going to take to sell a home, and you got to remember there's 2 parties in every transaction, the seller and the buyer. So if the seller is experiencing, hey, it's going to take 1, 2, 3 months to sell my home, the buyer is going to have the same experience, right? They don't get to move in. It's the same experience on every deal for the seller and the buyer. If it takes 30 days to sell for the seller, it's going to take 30 days to buy for the buyer, if that makes sense, because you're coming together and agreeing on one contract. All right, number 7, what is a seller's market? This is really important to understand because it's been a seller's market for a long time. A seller's market refers to a situation where there is high demand for homes and limited inventory. Sound familiar? In a seller's market, sellers have the advantage as there are more buyers competing for fewer available properties. It's supply and demand, really. This can lead to increased home prices and faster selling processes. As a buyer in a seller's market, it's important to be prepared, act very quickly, and make competitive offers to increase your chances of securing a desired property. Now, number 8, what is a buyer's market? The inverse of this. A buyer's market occurs when there is an abundance of homes for sale and limited buyer demand. In a buyer's market, buyers have the advantage as they have more options and negotiating power. This can lead to lower home prices and longer selling times for sellers. As a buyer in a buyer's market, you have the opportunity to take your time, explore different properties, and negotiate favorable terms. All right, additional real estate questions. Number 9. How much do you actually need for a down payment? So this is another tricky one, and it entirely depends on your specific deal and situation. So let's say you can go all the way down to 0%. You can put 0% down on a home, which means if you buy a $300,000 home, you're gonna have a $0 down payment. You could have some closing costs, but loans like this are reserved for things, programs like the VA, which is a loan program that allows veterans of the US military to get into owning a home with 0% down. Also USDA. If you qualify, you're in a rural area and meet the requirements, and it's usually for, poorer areas, more rural cities, where people don't have the means to buy a house. This also gives you the opportunity to get into home ownership with 0% down. I've got whole videos on how to get into real estate with low and no money down. But now we're moving into what every man can get. Every man, woman, and maybe child. I don't know. We'll see. It's not 2008 anymore. So number 1 is the FHA. Now this can go all the way down to 3.5%. And this is going to depend on your credit score. And then the traditional down payment is 20%, because anything below 20%, you're gonna get PMI, private mortgage insurance, tacked on to your loan payment, which could be an extra $200 a month going to the lender to ensure, hey, this guy isn't putting much down on this mortgage here, so we're gonna protect ourselves by making him pay even more in case he misses a payment or defaults, etc. And then once you get 20% and above, and you can do that by renovating and increasing the value of your property or simply paying it down over time and building equity, then the PMI goes off and you can put 100% down. You can buy it in cash. Okay, number 10, should I sell my home before buying a new one? And this is a tricky one, again, because it entirely depends on your situation. Now, let me tell you the benefit of selling your home and then buying another one. One, obviously, your funds are gonna be freed up, right? It might be more stressful to work with the timeline of selling and moving and then buying somewhere else, right? That's stressful. But there's this fun little thing that makes real estate really profitable, and it's called the 1031 exchange. It's a tax code that allows you to not pay capital gains taxes as long as you find a property, identify it, place an offer 45 days from the sale of your own home, and then you don't pay any profits on it. There's also personal capital gains taxes, and we can get into the weeds about this, but there are a lot of benefits to, avoiding taxes, using that money, deferring it, rolling it over into a better, bigger property, and you don't have to pay any taxes. It just means you have more money freed up to then go buy your new home. It can get pretty complicated. I've got 1031 exchange videos on this channel. Okay, number 11, how many homes should I view before buying? Another tricky question. So let's say, I've got clients who want $2, $3, $4 million homes, right? So we're not going on showings all of the time. We'll go, maybe every other month, right? It's a very specific property type. But I've also got people just looking to buy a $300,000, $200,000 single family home in a cookie cutter neighborhood, a spec home. And then this, they're a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. There's thousands of this similar type of home in the city. Then those you should walk a lot, because location really matters, right? So I always say the general rule of thumb and how many homes you should walk is as many as possible until you find one, because you'll know as soon as you pull into the driveway and you open the door, you're gonna know. So don't buy it until you get that feeling. Number 12, should I order a home inspection? Yes, I had a client who I put it in the contract, let's get a home inspection. He said, no, I want this process to go quicker. I know the guy, I trust him. We go in there and lo and behold, there's all sorts of problems with the property. Here's the thing, folks. Most homeowners don't know all of the issues wrong with their house. Always get a home inspection. They're cheap. You can usually roll them over into the closing costs, but you don't really need to because they're not that expensive. And they're gonna give you an itemized list of everything that is wrong now and things that will be wrong in the future. I have had home inspections save deals, break deals, and turn what an investor thought was a good deal into a bad one because they didn't want an inspection. Always get an inspection unless you're an advanced real estate investor buying cash as is properties. Okay, finally, number 13. I guess for some reason I only have 13 on my list. I thought I had 15. Do I need a final walkthrough? Absolutely. You absolutely want a final walkthrough, because this has never happened to me, but I have heard other agents, other friends talk about how, they went in for their final walkthrough and they removed all of the mirrors in the house. The owners wanted to take all of the mirrors that were fixed to the wall and they took them with them. And they showed up and all the mirrors were gone. And it's a lot of money in mirrors. I've had another agent say that someone took all the ceiling fans. Like, that's a fixture that stays with the home, right? So yes, always do a final walkthrough, because you never know what kind of squirrely stuff the agents and, property owners, even if it's 24 hours till, you never know what they're going to do. People are weird. Anyway, guys, those are the 13 most commonly asked real estate questions. I hope I cleared some up for you. If you have any more, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to give you an answer just directly in the comments. Check out the new sponsor, Moo. Hit the like and subscribe button to learn more about real estate, and I'll see you in the next one.